Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please check it. All of you get my voice on screen. Right, guys. And in the last classes, we completed preprocessor and its related points we understood there in the last session. And today we are going to see the third difference. What about this third difference here? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is platform independent programming language. There's a point here. Then what I'm telling you know, right? Sir. So before going to understand C, C++, Java, platform dependent or platform independent, before understanding this, first of all, what is platform dependent programming language and what is the meaning of platform independent programming language? These points exactly here we have to understand. What is platform dependent programming language? What is platform independent programming language? That points here we have to understand. Listen, guys, I'm going to give some definitions to you and try to understand it clearly. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on operating system and execution is on another operating system. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. Okay, guys. Otherwise, then what I'm telling you, if any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution, both compilation and execution on the same operating system, compilation and execution both are on the same operating system, not on different operating systems, on the same operating system, for example, then that programming language is called as platform dependent programming language. As all of you observe this clearly, if any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is called as platform dependent programming language. This is exactly platform dependent programming language. Examples are C and C++. Examples are what? C and C++. That's it. Examples are C and C++. But how? How can we say C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages? What is that internal reason? Right, so now I'll give an example. Try to understand it now. I'll give a diagram. With a diagram, I will explain to you. Try to understand it. For example, this is .c program, .c file, .c file. Here we want to perform compilation. This is compilation. When we compile our C program, there we are able to get some executable code. in the form of .exe file. .exe file. In the form of .exe file, we are getting some data. Whenever we are getting this .exe file, we want to go for execution. Execution process. Execution. Who will execute our C program? Actually, C programs are executed by C engine. C programs are executed by C engine. Here, the execution process is going on where C engine is executing our program. When we execute our program through the C engine, there we are able to get some output. We are able to get some output. After execution of our program, we are able to get some output. Output here we are getting. This is normal content base. Let's observe this clearly. As per the definition, I want to say for compilation we have to use some operating system. Which operating system here we are going to use there? Windows operating system here we are going to use. For compilation purpose, we are going to use Windows operating system. Okay, good. As per the definition, for execution purpose also, at the time of execution also, at runtime also, we have to use the same operating system we have to use. Same Windows operating system we have to use. Then it is platform dependent. As per the definition, same operating system we provided for compilation and for execution. So this programming language is a platform dependent programming language. Right, sir. But for our discussion point of view, to prove C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, for our understanding point of view, I want to use different operating system at runtime. Linux operating system I want to use at runtime. Guys, all of you observe carefully. For example, if I use Linux operating system at runtime, then what will happen? Doesn't all of you know what exactly the work is going on, or try to understand it clearly, what I'm telling to you? When we compile C program on Windows operating system, automatically .exe file is created. This .exe file contains what? .exe file is contained what? If you observe this .exe file, the nature of the .exe file is what .exe file contains actually. .exe file contains directly executable code. .exe file contains directly executable code. That's all of you observe this clearly. .exe file contains directly executable code. Okay, directly executable code, and it has the local operating system representations, and which operating system we performed compilation. Right, so .exe file contains directly executable code, and it has the local operating system representations, and which operating system, sorry, and which operating system we perform compilation. Right, so the local operating system representations are available. So here I'm telling to you, it contains Windows representations. It contains Windows representations. You know already, we have to believe one point. We have to understand one point. From operating system to operating system, differences are available. Data representation is varied. We are not expecting same data representation in all the operating systems. From one operating system to another operating system, data representation is varied. So now we compile our C program on Windows. So .exe file is generated as per Windows conventions only, Windows representations only. So Windows represented .exe file. This .exe file is what? Windows represented .exe file. Okay, sir. Good. Next one is here C engine is available. C engine. That means execution is available on Linux. So my C engine is available on Linux. When C engine is available on Linux now, then it able to understand what C engine is available on Linux. So it able to execute which type of code. So it able to understand or execute Linux representations. Linux representations. It able to understand or execute only Linux representations. Right, sir. Why? Because the C engine is available on Linux now. C engine is available on Linux, so it required only Linux representations. Now understand, guys, what I'm telling you. Here we compile our program on Windows. So Windows represented .exe file here we are getting. That Windows represented .exe file, if we give to Linux operating system, where C engine is unable to understand, is unable to execute our Windows represented .exe file. So C engine is unable to execute it. Why? Because C engine is installed on the top of Linux, so it required Linux representations. It don't require Windows representations. Guys, all of you know, tell me, here some mismatch is identified or not? Yes, all of you understand it. Here we are getting some mismatch or not? Here we are getting some mismatch between the representations or not? Definitely some mismatch is identified between, right, sir, between .exe file and C engine. Mismatch is identified. Right, exactly. Exactly. In this particular situation, if we want to execute our C program, at runtime, we have to use an operating system. It must be same as the operating system where we perform compilation. So on Windows operating system, we perform compilation. So here we require same Windows operating system at runtime. At runtime, the same Windows operating system here we require. We don't require other operating systems. So Windows operating system here we required now. Right, sir. For compilation, we are using Windows, and for execution also, for execution purpose also, we are using Windows. For compilation, Windows. For execution, we are using what now? Windows operating system. Compilation Windows and execution is also be on Windows. Right, sir. So here, what is going on? C engine is available on Windows now. Whenever the C engine is available on Windows now, then it able to understand only Windows representations. It able to understand only like Windows representations. It will not understand Linux. Linux is not available now. It able to understand Windows. Now see the situation now. We compiled our C program on Windows. Windows represented .exe file we are getting. That Windows represented .exe file is given to the Windows operating system. That means C engine which is on Windows operating system. So here this C engine is able to understand Windows representations. Moreover, we provided Windows represented .exe file to the C engine. So in this case, we are not getting any problem. We are able to execute our program. So finally, our program will be executed. Finally, our program will be executed. That's all. So this is what exactly the meaning of like what now? Dependent on operating system. That execution process is dependent on operating system. Because of this reason, C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages. C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages. Right. So then, if you want to go for other operating system now, again in other operating system, we have to compile and we have to execute the program. But compilation is on Windows, execution is on Linux in the sense it will not be workload. Compilation is on Windows and execution on other operating system in the sense it will not be possible. Right. So now, so right, sir. If we compile .c file on Windows XP, then can we run the same program on Windows 10? That's okay, but I'm asking there is all features of Windows XP are available on Windows 10? Is Rahul? All features of Windows XP are available to Windows 10. That means the data representation is same in both. Maybe it's an internal point actually. In the same Windows family. Okay, now leave this one. Even that is not my question. No, my question is very clear. 32-bit operating system and 64-bit operating system concepts are available. Is it possible to run 32-bit program and 64-bit? No. Again, this is another question. In general, we are able to get now. 32-bit representations are valid in 64-bit. Whereas Windows XP features are supported in Windows 10. Right, sir. That's the point I'm asking here. Or else 64-bit representations are running in 32-bit. 64-bit representations are running in 32-bit. These many questions in general we are able to get now. So here, what I am telling to you clearly, maximum XP operating system compiled program may not be executed on Windows 10. Maybe. Why? Because definitely some database representations point of view, some differentiations are available. This is one thing. But when we come for 32-bit representations and 64-bit representations, if we come there, but as per my awareness, what I'm telling now, 32-bit programs will run under 64-bit operating system, but 64-bit programs will not run under 32-bit operating system. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling to you clearly, 32-bit operating system compiled programs may be executed on 64-bit, but 64-bit programs on 64-bit operating system, if we compile any program, that may not be executed on 32-bit. Definitely some differentiations are available there, where data representations point of view also be different now. So it may not be executed. I think so, no. XP, Windows XP program may not be executed on Windows 10. That's, this is this is what exactly the analysis about like what no, this is about this compilation and execution of C programming language. Guys, now tell me, finally now tell me, C and C++ are platform dependent or not? By having this type of analysis, and C and C++ are platform dependent or not? Come on here, I'm asking to all of you guys. C and C++ are platform dependent or not? Definitely. C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages. That's what we call. But what is platform independent programming language? What is the meaning of platform independent programming language? Listen, guys, all of you listen carefully. If any programming language allows its applications, if any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. If any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is called as platform independent programming language. As all of you observe this clearly, if any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is called as platform independent programming language. That's it. Example is Java. But here my question is how Java is a platform independent programming language. How can you say Java is a platform independent programming language? Yes, I'll give some representation, some internal content, I'll try to understand it best. So this topic is important for us guys. Whether you understood C, C++ are platform dependent or platform independent, that doesn't matter. But Java is a platform independent that we have to understand. How Java is a platform independent? How it is possible to say Java is a platform independent? That we have to understand, that we have to analyze. Right. Listen carefully. For example, this is Java application. This is .java application, that means .java file. As per the definition, we have to understand. Now we want to perform compilation. Compilation. When we perform compilation over Java program, in Java we are able to get a separate file. After compilation of our Java program, where we are able to get dot class files. As remember this, in the case of C and C++, after compilation, we are getting .txt files. But in the case of Java, after compilation, we are getting .class file. So this is .class file. What is there inside the .class file? And everything we will understand. Not worry for this. But once we are getting .class file, once we are getting this .class file, where we have to run this .class file on multiple operating systems. As Java is a platform independent programming language, we can execute this Java program on multiple operating systems. We compiled on one operating system, but we can execute the same program on multiple operating systems. Then only the programming language is what platform independent programming language. Right now, let's check this one. How many operating systems here we are able to use? Now let me check it. This is one-time execution. Here we are using one type of operating system. Here we are getting output. Execution and on operating system here we are getting some output. That's it. Execution and operating system and output here we are getting. That's okay, fine. Here also we are going to use one operating system. Like this, multiple executions here we want to provide. That's it. This is like multiple times. We are able to get multiple times the content here. All of you observe this clearly. I want to confirm operating systems. Now this I want to use like Windows operating system for comparison, for execution, Linux operating system, another time, Unix operating system, Mac, and maybe we may use the same Windows operating system again. Different operating systems can be provided. Right. Let's understand it. Then what is going on internally? When we compile our program on Windows operating system, when we compile our program on Windows operating system, we are getting .class file. Then what is the nature of the .class file? What exactly the nature of .class file? If you observe this point, no, .class file contains .class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. .class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. Okay, fine. If it is not executable code, then what is this actually? It is not directly executable code. Okay. It is an intermediate code, and it is not having any operating system representations, including Windows. It doesn't have any operating system representations. If you observe this .exe file, if you observe the .exe file contains local operating system representations. Whatever the operating system we have used for compilation, same operating system representations are available in .exe file. But in the case of .class file, even though we have used Windows for compilation, the Windows representations are also not available. Somewhat neutral representations are available. They are not related to any operating system. Some neutral representations are available. This is the bytecode. This is the nature of the bytecode. But guys, I'm telling to you, now try to recognize this. Bytecode is neutral. Good. It is not representing any of the operating system representations. It's a neutral. But if you want to execute this bytecode on Linux operating system, we need Linux represented bytecode. That bytecode must be as per Linux operating system representations. Then only in Linux operating system, the bytecode will be executed. Right. If you want to execute the same bytecode on Unix operating system, then that bytecode must have Unix operating system representations. Then that bytecode must have Unix operating system representations. Then only that bytecode will be executed. Similarly, if you want to run bytecode on a Mac operating system, then where we require Mac representations in our bytecode. Operating system to operating system data representations are varied. But if you want to execute this bytecode on Mac now, Mac representations must be required on our bytecode. Right, that's one thing. If you want to run the same bytecode on Windows operating system, again here what we required, Windows representations here we required. We required what? Windows representations. Good. Here what we need, no Windows representations here we required. All of you guys observe this clearly. So here we are providing neutral bytecode, but if you want to execute that neutral bytecode on all the operating systems, that neutral bytecode must be converted into converted into, that means the neutral bytecode must not be executed. That neutral bytecode is not going to be executed in a different operating systems. That neutral bytecode must be executed. If you want to execute that neutral bytecode, exactly in this situation, if you want to execute neutral bytecode, Sun Microsystems has given an alternative. But first of all, whatever the problem here we highlighted, that problem is almost all similar to the C and C++ programming language problem or not. That means in the case of C and C++, .exe file contains directly executable code. So, and it represents local operating system representations. If you want to run it on any other operating systems, no. If you want to run any other operating system, then it is not possible. Understand my point? But in the case of Java, what happened? If we compile program on Windows operating system, we are able to get neutral bytecode, not directly executable code. Neutral bytecode here we are getting. That neutral bytecode, if you want to run on any particular operating system, that neutral bytecode must convert its representations to the respective operating system representations. So if you want to run this bytecode on Linux, so that bytecode must be Linux representations. If you want to run this bytecode on Unix, then that bytecode must be in Unix representations. If you want to run this bytecode on Mac, then that bytecode must be in Mac representations. If you want to run this bytecode on Windows, then that bytecode must have Windows representations. Like this, we are able to have some representations clear. Exactly. In this particular situation, to make Java as a platform independent to execute Java programs on multiple operating systems, if it is the case, no, then Sun Microsystems, for this particular requirement, Sun Microsystems has provided some translators, some converters. Sun Microsystems has provided some conversions. What are these conversions here we are getting now? What is the job of this converter? It will convert neutral bytecode to Unix representations. Then what is the job of this converter actually? It will convert neutral bytecode to Unix representations. What is the job of this converter? It will convert neutral bytecode to Mac representations. Then here, what is the job of this converter? It will convert bytecode from neutral nature to Windows representations. So these converters are converting data from neutral representations to the local operating system representations. So the Linux representations or Unix representations or Mac representations or Windows representations here. So they're able to convert like this. Good. But here the question is how Java is able to provide all these converters. Where Java has provided all these converters. Understand guys what I'm telling you now. Where Java has provided all these converters. From where we have to get all these converters. So for this particular point, I'm telling you clearly, Java has provided this conversion mechanisms and execution mechanism in a single device. Java has provided this conversion and as well as execution in a single device. Java has provided this conversion mechanism and as well as execution mechanism both in a single device. The name of that single device is JVM. The name of the device is what? JVM. Name of the device is what? JVM. What is JVM, sir? What is JVM? What exactly the meaning of JVM? JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Everybody else, understand it clearly. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine. Okay. Right. Now, what is the Java of the JVM? In Java programming, what is the Java of the JVM, guys? Now tell me now. What is the Java of the JVM? Any idea? See, from the diagram easily we can identify Java of the JVM is what? Two responsibilities are available for JVM in Java. What are the two responsibilities now? First one is translating the program from neutral representations to local operating system representations. Converting program from neutral representation to local operating system representations. And then executing the program. Translation plus execution. Translation and execution both are done by JVM. Translation and as well as execution both are done by JVM. Both are performed by JVM. So JVM is required. JVM responsibilities are translating program from neutral representation to Java representations and executing the Java representations. Right, sir. Local operating system representations. So this translator will convert neutral program to Linux. This translator will convert neutral program to Unix. This converter will translate program from neutral nature to Mac, and this converter will translate program from neutral nature to Windows representations. So here we are performing it. That's okay, fine. Guys, now I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now try to answer for it. My question is, my question is, in this overall diagram, how many times we compiled our program? Come on, guys, you have to answer for it now. How many times we compiled our program? Answer for me. I'm asking to you only, guys. How many times we compiled our program? Only one time we compiled our program. Only one time we compiled our program. But how many times we executed the same program? How many times we executed the same program? How many times we executed the same program? 4 times. 4 times we executed the same program. 4 times. Good. Now tell me, for 4 times execution, how many JVMs here we have used? For 4 times execution of our program, how many JVMs here we have used? Is it only one JVM 4 times or 4 different JVMs? Come on, guys. This is my question. One JVM one 4 times or 4 different JVMs are for 4 times? That's my question, guys. Now here we have to answer for it now. Is it only one JVM or 4 different JVMs? One JVM 4 times or different JVMs on 4 times? At least you have to think about it. At least you have to guess it and you have to give some answer. Only one JVM 4 times or 4 different JVMs? I'm expecting answer from all of you guys. Please respond for me. One JVM or 4 JVMs? Right, sir. Some people are saying one JVM and some other people are saying 4 JVMs. Majority of the members are saying one JVM. Only 1 or 2 members are saying 4 JVMs. Anyway, answer I'm telling to you, 4 different JVMs. 4 different JVMs, not the same JVM, not one JVM. 4 different JVMs here we are using, not one JVM. Observe this, guys. What I'm telling you, know, not one JVM. Overall 4 JVMs here we are using. How, sir? How can you say 4 JVMs here we are using? How can you say that? What is the reason for it? No. Yes, the reason for this is what I'm telling to you. Listen carefully. Java is platform independent programming language. Why? Because Java is platform independent programming language. Why? Because no, Java is platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. Because of JVMs only. But JVM is, listen carefully, guys, all of you know, platform dependent. JVM is a tool. JVM is also a program. Then it is platform dependent. Java programming language is platform independent, but JVM is platform dependent. Java programming language is platform independent, but JVM is platform dependent. Not only JVM, Java software. Software is available. Java software. right? Which includes Java compiler and JVM and Java profiler, Java tools, all Java tools as a single product. The Java software is a platform. Java software is a platform dependent. Java software is platform dependent. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only, but JVM is platform dependent. So get note kind of point what I'm telling Java software is platform dependent. Not only Java, not only JVM, the complete Java software is platform dependent. When Java software is platform dependent, no, Java compiler, JVM, and Java profiler, like all Java internal tools, are platform dependent. That's the reason why Java programming language is a platform independent programming language, but JVM and total Java software is platform dependent. That's these are the points that we can understand. Guys, now I'm asking one important interview question to all of you. You have to answer for my question. What about my question here? What are the differences between .exe file and a .class file? What are the differences between .exe file and a .class files? Can I give answer for this question, guys? All of you know? Can I give answer? Just as per the today's discussion, what are the points here I given about the C, C++ and Java? What are the points here I've given? On the basis of that only, I'm asking this question there. What are the differences between .exe file and a .class file? Observe carefully. I'm going to give few differences. No, try to understand it. First one is .exe file is existed in C and C++, whereas .class file is existed in a Java. .exe file is existed in C and C++, whereas .class file is existed in a Java. .exe file is existed in C and C++. .class file is existed in Java. That's okay, fine. Next one is after that. .exe file contains directly executable code, whereas .class file contains bytecode, not directly executable code. .exe file contains directly executable code. .class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. Right, sir. Point number 3. .exe file is platform dependent programming, platform dependent. You know, it contains platform dependent executable code. It has the local operating system representations where we compiled our program. Right, sir. So .exe file is a platform dependent. But whereas .class file platform independent. .class file is a platform independent. Right, sir. Majorly these are the various differences that we can understand. .exe file is existed in C and C++. .class files are existed in Java. Next one. .exe file contains directly executable code, and .class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code. .exe file is platform dependent, whereas .class file is platform independent. Right. Sir. Now, finally, now tell me, guys, what is the conclusion I'm telling you? Java is finally what? Platform dependent or platform independent? Java programming language is what? Platform dependent or platform independent? Supriya ma'am, now you only tell me. Java programming language, guys. Java programming language Platform dependent or platform independent? Saitija. Independent, platform independent programming language. Java programming language is platform independent, but Java software is platform dependent. See, if you want to compile program or if you want to run program, you have to install Java software or not. We have to download from internet and we have to install Java software or not. That is platform dependent. But programming language is platform independent. The Java programming language is platform independent. Compile program in one operating system, we can run the same program in multiple operating systems. So Java programming language is platform independent. That's enough. This is another point that we have to understand clearly about this platform dependent and platform independent nature. That's the third difference is completed. And fourth difference here, what I'm telling you, pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in a Java. So this topic we will discuss on tomorrow, guys. And tomorrow I will start this topic pointers concepts. So nearly 9 number of differences are available, but this is another one maybe. So when a .exe and .class are generated, when we compile the programs, when we compile C program, then we will get .exe file. When we compile Java program, then we will get .class files. After compilation only, all these files we are able to get. Compilation is required, then execution. First compilation, then execution. When we compile C program, .exe. When we compile Java file, .class file. Understand, ma'am? Supreme, ma'am. No response. Yeah, that's guys. Now, just I want to discuss about this pointers concepts of tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the pointers. Then if time is permitted, then I'll go for multiple inheritance. Is not possible in Java. Like this, a number of differences are available. Nearly 9 number of differences are available. We are going to understand the 9 number of differences and exactly 1 or 2 days of time it will take to complete these differences. No, so we have to wait for it. So we are going to discuss about this content, guys, and tomorrow we will see the remaining part. Chilpi, I will provide the document, but within 1 or 2 days of time, I'll share this classroom notes and as well as material also you are able to get it. Yeah, then not worry for this. You will get that material also. Yeah, then document and as well as this classroom notes and videos. Yeah, 7 on T. Yes, exactly. It's available. Yeah, it's available. Right. Your thought is right. One request to please try to start the class at the sharp 11 a.m. Sarda Kumar, then please recognize our situation also. I'm giving clarity on this point right from starting point now. In the very starting point of this classes, please, guys, all of you remember this. I'm repeating number of times the same point. At the very starting point of the classes, why? Because still demo class are going on. People will not come exactly by sharp 11 o'clock. I don't have any problem to start these classes here. But what I'm telling there, just I need to take 10 minutes delay, 5 to 10 minutes delay. Starting one of these classes, this is a matter of 3 to 4 classes now. So by the time itself, if you're expecting exactly at 11 o'clock, you have to start by exactly 12 o'clock, you have to stop in the sense, it's not like this. Concepts wise, I'm taking the classes and moreover, in the demo classes now, we have to conduct the classes in this fashion only. Why? Because all members have to come, we have to cover all members, and we need to keep all the members in a different tracks now. So that we have to follow as a minimum at the starting point of the classes. Moreover, so what is my schedule? I'm telling to you. Just recognize it. 6 to 7 one class, and 7 to 8 another class, 8 to 9 another class, 9 to 10 one class. Now 10 to 11 another class. So I have a previous class at 11 o'clock. I have to stop it. In the worst case, maybe 2 to 3 minutes of time. The 10 to 11 class may be extended. The max I'll try to stop the class by 11 o'clock. Maybe 2 to 3 minutes of time it will be extended. So Then after that, 11 to 12, I have this session. After that, 12 to 1 also, I'm going to have another session. So I need to check just 5 to 10 minutes of time. It's a base time, sir. It's going on that. But exactly if you're trying to start exactly the class by 11 o'clock and stopping the class by 12 o'clock, in the sense, it's not like missionary. So it's going on. But I'm giving confirmation to you when I'm going to start object orientation. That means when starting classes are completed, then I will think about like what no time to time concepts. But moreover, today, for example, if these points are extending up to 12, 15 might be, I'm able to pay that. Why? Because in the middle of the topic, I may not complete it. I may not stop the class now. It might be 5 minutes before. If it is completing, I may leave the classes 5 minutes before now. But don't expect that exactly by 11 o'clock you have to start and by 12 o'clock you have to stop the class. In a sense, it's not possible. Guys, please remember this. Why? Because 5 to 10 minutes before or later, we are able to complete the content. Put concentration on the subject, max. Instead of thinking about this timing stuff. Understand it? Satya Kumar, I'm giving clarity for you only. And Rahul Kumar, I think yesterday you raised the same thing. Yes, what is the duration of the session? 1 hour. Duration of these sessions is 1 hour every day. For package people, after 1 month or 1.5 month of time, I will take second slot also. For RIKIL and for what next one there? UI technologies and advanced Java, this we are planning there. Right? Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for our understanding. Right. Yeah, today 7:30 class. The sunrise class is going on there. Yeah. Yeah, it will take 2.5 to 3 months of time. Susmita ma'am. Three months of time, around 3 months of time for core job only. For packages, it will take nearly 6 to 7 months of time. For basic package, 4 months of time. For complete package, 6 to 7 months of time it will take to complete it. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.